Hey, I'm Dr. Nielsen. I wanted to talk to you about some of the core exercises. Oftentimes people want to know what they can do to strengthen their low back, their neck, their core. And I'm going to show you some of those exercises that will increase your metabolism but decrease your weight. One of the biggest and key important ingredients of this all is to be able to breathe. I'm going to start out doing just reps of 3. I'd recommend that you bump those up, keep slowly bumping those up until you get to 21. In order to count the reps for such an exercise that isn't, you don't think of as strengthening, I'll show you, but what I'm talking about is you'll just use breaths as the repetition. So how I first start out, and you don't have to necessarily use a palm tree, you can just be inside, but let me just show you what I'll recommend doing. Holding on to something so you're steady, and you'll do 3 of these. You'll do a leg swing, 1, 2, 3. Do the other side, 2, 3, good. Then you'll do something to be able to help your ankle and then get mobility as well as flexibility. You lift up on your ankle, that's 1, 2, 3. You can also do that holding on. 1, 2, 3. Then the last one here is a leg swing. Oftentimes you'll not be facing the camera, you'll be facing the wall. And what you'll do is swing across the body, swing out, and lift up on the toe. 3. And then here, 1, 2, 3. And it's not that flexible, but you'll increase your flexibility. Then the next thing I recommend are some Kung Fu kicks. Kung Fu kicks help with your ankle's ability to sense where it is in space. It also helps with flexibility, mobility, and strength. The first Kung Fu kick is just like this. It's a front snap. 1, 2, you can see that, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. The next kick is you bring it up and out. So I'm going to bring it up and out, 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 up and out. Do the same thing, you're going to bring it up and in. So you bring it up and in, up and in, up and in. Good. Very good. The next kick will be actually what they call a donkey kick. If you need to hold on, you can. I prefer that you don't. Just start out easy if you need to. I'll do like this. 1, 2, 3. Good. I'll come over here. 1. Oops, other leg. 1, 2, 3. You want to look where you're kicking and see where you're kicking. Very good. Now, from those kicks, to help with flexibility, mobility, strength, and balance, you'll actually do a balance. And I oftentimes start out with this. I rotate 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. And don't focus on anything. You just want to focus your eyes, allowing them to go around. Now you're a little bit dizzy. Now what you do is you actually stand on both feet together, actually put one foot in front of the other. It's called a tandem gait. Good. Now you close your eyes, and again you're going to do a repetition of breathing. So 1, 2. Go ahead and take a look at my feet. And 3. As you can see, they're focusing or they're shifting back and forth, trying to find a balance. Again, left foot in front of the other, and do 3 breaths. 1, and then 2, and 3. The next thing you'll do is you'll actually go with your eyes closed. Now, obviously, be very, very smart about this. If you cannot do this with your eyes closed, do not do this with your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open, or else if need be, you need to promise me you'll go to something that you can stabilize against, or else a doorway is best. Now, again, promise me that you'll do that. Otherwise, Go on one foot, 3 breaths in, stabilize with your eyes closed to the other foot. 1 breath, 2 breaths, and 3 breaths. Very good, you get the point. I'll oftentimes do a jump squat, and I'll back up so you can see how I do this. I come down. If you notice, I go all the way down to 90 degrees. I try to keep my feet stable, and I go all the way down to 90 degrees. That engages some of the ligaments in your knee and helps so you actually protect so you don't rupture those ligaments. The other one I wanted to show you is a lymph. Helps pumps lymph. It's called a lymph pump. It was similar to the prayer pump, if you will. This is a lymph pump. How you do that is arms all the way out, take a big breath in, and then breathe in and squeeze in. Flash the jacket and then breathe out. Breathe in, flash the jacket, and then breathe out. There we'll actually go down into a squatting position. This helps with flexibility in the knees, the legs, the joints of the legs. I'll come down into a squatting position. Again, I'll hold for 3 seconds, 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. From there, you'll come up into a prayer position. You'll bring your head down. 1. Bring your head back. Bring your head forward. Bring it back. Again, 3 times. From there, you'll actually go down. Again, breathing 3 times. You'll come forward and you'll come up into a pike. You'll come up into a pike position. Breathing 3 times. From there you'll go into what I call the grasshopper, and you'll actually do a chin drag push-up. You come here, bring your legs slightly apart, and you come here, and you go 1, 2, and 3. From there, you'll actually go into the cat-cow. Make sure you're breathing. Very good. From there you'll go into what I call the bird dog. Make sure you tuck your stomach. Keep your pelvis very, very stable. Come here. Notice how I'm not rocking my pelvis. Notice how my foot is barely off the ground. My arm is about head level. Very stable. 3 breaths in, 3 breaths out. Bring it very stable in. Tighten the stomach. Try not to wobble. Keep it steady. Three breaths in, 3 breaths out. I normally repeat that 2 times. From there, you go to a push-up position. Go to a push-up, come down, give a pause here, then go all the way down, and then come up. 1, 2, 3. From the push-up position, you'll go into a bridge. The bridge for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. A side bridge for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. For the sake of time. Middle bridge for 3 seconds. And then finish up with the other side bridge. Again, your breaths are what you're using for counting. From there, we'll go into we'll switch to this way. we'll go into what is called a homolateral crawl. So one-sided. It's like this. That's 1, 2. So if you notice, my arm and my leg are lifting off the ground. Again, the key there is breathing. The last thing I'm going to finish up with is what I call the Superman. If you notice, my feet come off the ground, my arms come off. 1 breath, 2 breaths, and 3 breaths. Those are the extension exercises. Now we'll go into flexion. Alright, so we're going to start with the flexion exercises. I'll go through again. Remember, I generally recommend people start out with 3 or 3 breaths. You're going to start out, and I'm going to just demonstrate by doing 1. So we'll come down into a into a laying position. The first one is here. You take your hands here to homolateral touch. So you'll touch to this. And if you notice, my head is going to the way of the outstretched arm. Then the next one, you'll actually take your hand, your left hand, and you're going to turn to the right. So you'll take your left hand on the opposite side, and you'll twist the other way. Good. And do 3 of those. The next one you'll actually do is come here. Make sure you're looking to that arm. Very good. You'll come up and you'll do a crab crawl. You'll do a tabletop. Very good. You'll come down from that. You'll do a sit-up. Cross your arms here. Come up. Lift your shoulder blades off the ground. You don't want your feet to go off, so I'll actually show you. I'm on a heel. So you'll come up, breathe out, and then lift up. Come up, breathe out, and then lift up. Now, that's a little bit more advanced. All you need to do is get your shoulder blade off the ground. Breathe out. We'll go into what is called a homolateral crawl. So one-sided. It's like this. That's 1, 2. So if you notice, my arm and my leg are lifting off the ground. Again, the key there is breathing. The last thing I'm going to finish up with is what I call the Superman. If you notice, my feet come off the ground, my arms come off. 1 breath, 2 breaths, and 3 breaths. Those are the extension exercises. Now we'll go into flexion. Let's go ahead and take a pause.